Hi guys, I wanted to come and show you this doll I had. So I decided to make this doll after seeing an inspiration photo of Naomi Campbell. I did not at the time realize I did not have those skills to pull it off, so she didn't really look like Naomi Campbell, but inspiration nonetheless. She's made from polymer clay, and I decided to use inset eyes. This is her after she just got baked. And here is, you can see her body before. The covering, it's made from cotton batting, string, and armature wire. And her head is in two pieces, her neck piece and then her head piece, and is connected with a piece of wire. And then the remaining photos are just few of the artworks that she inspired. So it's about time I finally finish her. This doll for a really long time. I never finished her just because I found her way too bendy. I'm showing you now, and I realized that I could use her bendiness to my advantage by making her more an expressive form which to draw inspiration from. Do you think of like things like that? I do. Anyway, so basically her body is nothing but cotton filling, string, and armature wire. So what I plan to do, because her structure is basically complete, is just to stitch her together and not having her looking so ragged. So I gathered my materials, as you can see here. These are basically just scraps that I found that I've had for a while for making masks and things like that. A collection of thread that I collected over the pandemic, cotton that I found from a pillow. And I'm just now trying to fit what I had previously sewn on her body. I decided to go for like a Frankenstein look. I don't know, I thought that would be more, I don't know, pleasing for me. I don't know where I'm going with this. Like, she's like campy for me for some reason. I don't know, I enjoy that whole like piecemeal look, that really homemade look, because I don't intend to sell any of these dolls. For me, they're just like vessels of like artistic inspiration. I know that sounds very like art schooly, but that's what happens when you actually go to art school. You end up sounding like a tool. Anyway, going back to the body, I'm using the cotton to try to make her shapely. So I'm just trying to give her a little bottom and some hips and a waist. In hindsight, using cotton to make shape is kind of hard. What I've decided to do is use do the whole body like this with the stuffing and everything, just to give her the basic shape, and then sew on additional puff pieces of cotton batting. And in doing so, that's like an easier way to add shape without doing all this nonsense that I'm about to show you, because it's really hard to make cotton into bosoms. Like, you have no idea. Like, I'm doing it right now, and I'm telling you, the outcome, like, look at her, like the outcome looks hideous. I feel so bad for her. So I ended up fiddling with her chest puff for quite a while, trying to figure out how to do it. But in subsequent dolls, I realized I should just create it using clay. You'll see the next doll that I show. I did do a chest piece for her, and they're not symmetrical. They're rather flat looking, but they do the job a lot better than what I ended up doing here. But all in all, I think it still came out decently enough. Yeah, I did do a lot of fiddling here, trying to figure out how I would sew this down, because I wanted to do a clean look, but it didn't really turn out like that. But I don't think that was the point of this. The real point of doing all of this was to ensure that she actually got finished. That was the theme of this content, was to make sure that she finally got finished and that I could finally use her in some proper concepts. And it's at this point, just wanted to show what I ended up doing with the top piece. I ended up trying to make like what do they call that part? It's not a crevice. that space where your boobs come together. I don't know. I'm looking at my, I can't remember the word, but I ended up trying to do that by sewing down the middle. It came out all right. It ended up looking like those ruched tights that are the trend now. That's all I can think of it. Those booty hugger tights. Whatever. We tried, and now we're moving on. Okay, so let me tell you what I had in mind for this part. I was trying to make a seamless connection between her fabric body and her clay body. You're gonna see it doesn't make any sense. It's way too textured. So what I tried to do is I also wanted to create a better structural connection between the fabric and the clay, just so that, I don't know, when I'm clothing her, you don't really see the line of demarcation. That's why I went with nylon stocking over the clay, over the fabric, and then I was gonna cut it and paint it, and it was gonna be like a seamless transition. It's like three different materials going to, like, I don't know why I thought stockings would be this miracle worker that it's not. So yeah, I don't know if it helped or not what I was trying to do. I think in the end, this was just me trying stuff and hoping it would look good. And when you see what I've done, you can be the judge of if it worked or not. This is her, like, right before we did the nylon situation, but I liked how she came out. Like, isn't she like so expressive? Like, I love her. I'm gonna do towards the end a montage of where she began to where she ended up, and it's gonna be inspirational because look at her backside. Look at that. It looks like a botched. It's botched. And of course, I didn't want to do all this work and not let her have an outfit, because she can't just be walking around here naked. So again, with the scraps, I went back into my scrap box, got some similar looking colored scraps, pieced a dress together, and sewed it on her body. But then I realized at the last minute I wanted it off of her body, because I do like the options of making them look different from the initial concept. So for the next couple of seconds into minutes, you're gonna see me construct that. Oh, and I realized that I should give you some sort of backstory to what this doll is and like what were we doing. So she doesn't really have a backstory. What happened was I wanted to make another doll to follow up the last doll that I did, and as I was completing her, I just didn't like her face, I didn't like her body structure, none of that. So I just dropped her for a cool minute, and she just became like a series of artworks that actually in hindsight were really cool.